I was about to say I don't see it live anywhere anymore.
It's live, but I think on Facebook it's live right now.
Gotcha. I don't see it on the YouTubes.
YouTube is live now. So guys, if you're watching this in the middle of the show, you're gonna catch that it was dropped.
So the
I don't know
magic
what
of
happened.
television, we will
It's
glue
just
it
like
Hey, I
together
told you
ourselves.
we lost.
wait,
We
wait.
lost. Well, no, we still have the recording. So those watching the
Oh,
recording,
okay.
it means
Yeah.
nothing to you
The
guys.
video, the vi-
But you guys, I got to shush my son here, so he lets me talk here.
With the taser.
Yeah, I know. I need a cattle prod. The
Dude.
show is back up, so if you want to share it out to everybody on YouTube, let everybody know it's back. I don't know if, like I said, we lost power earlier today. I don't know if it was just a hiccup, a glitch in the internet. Doug and Glenn were still here, so nothing dropped there. It might have been the CDN. Who knows? Anything happens when it's live. But
It's true.
if you missed it, you'll have to go back and watch the part where we talked about the arcade one up stuff. Glenn, what the other part where you were supposed to talk about? We have other stuff from Arcade One Up, right? That's coming down the pipe, I believe.
We do? There is?
Yeah, Big
Tell
Buck,
me. I wanna know
Big
about it.
Buck Hunter and Miss Pac-Man, man. Come on,
Well, Big Buck
that's
Hunter.
that's on your list.
Yeah, but I can't read.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Are
I'm
you-
older than words. I'm older than print.
Dude,
Come on.
dude.
The
Well,
stone
and
tablet.
okay, did you see that they also have the mini ghosts now and the mini Pac-Man that you can get at like Five Below?
Little
Yeah, I saw
keychain.
that. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to Five Below yet, but that's something
I'm
that's
going to get
coming.
them soon.
I haven't found
Getting
them-
cold.
I haven't found them myself, but I've been on the hunt because we recently just had a Five Below open up in the last like 2 months as a grand opening for the first time. So I was like, maybe they'll have some.
I'm gonna have to check it.
Right now so far.
I'm gonna have to check it and go, but
Yeah, did you guys pre-order Big Buck Hunter?
I didn't yet. I have a story
did.
about that.
I'm really.
Dude.
Did you really?
It did. Good.
I did because Best Buy birthday coupon, so it was like 10% off. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I might as
Listen.
well use it.
Listen, up until today, I've been paying for 2 houses.
Mhm.
I couldn't pre-order. I have 2 kids. Yeah, for those that don't know, when we moved into the new house 2 years ago, the house that we came from, where the original studio was, has been on the market for 2 years, and it was just closed on today. So that's gonna free up some money for me. So
helps
I can start
tremendously.
so I
Well-
can start pre-ordering some of this stuff.
You have a whole nother problem
Well,
because your game room's getting full. So now, like George Carlin used to say,
I'll move it to your
you
house.
buy stuff and you buy a bigger house, and then you buy more stuff and you buy a bigger house. So you're almost due for a bigger house.
No, I got plenty of room in this house. In fact,
Can you
I'll-
pre-order a second house?
I'll
that how
take I'll take over my wife's or our music room or something. I'll figure something out.
No,
Oh,
you
nice
could
knowing you.
you could just use that money to build another house to make it like
No.
a game room.
Well, no, okay. So Daniel is correct. I'm looking this way because on camera it makes it look like I'm looking at him.
Anyways,
We did talk about this. I told him I was thinking about getting like a 40 by 40, one of those sheds that put together and wire electric
Oh,
to it.
A
Yep.
he shed.
Yeah, and set it up and move all the arcades and the gaming stuff out there,
Yeah,
make it air
that'd be great.
conditioned, and leave the studio here, but move that out there.
and
Yeah,
it'll
little
just
slice
be
of
like
heaven.
a regular studio, and then when it's like game nights, we could just
Yeah.
walk outside and go over there. And
Yeah, so that's something that, we've been
Even
kind of
if
thinking
it's
about.
winter,
Yes, yes.
that would be fun. Just walking in the snow.
So let's get into something else real quick. With iArcade, I think Doug, you're gonna hit this one up. Jong's back. I saw he was live today. He's back on the
Yep.
air. So Doug, iArcade's got some new games coming.
They did. They signed a deal with Technos, famous for things like WrestleFest and Superstars. Unfortunately, those games are not coming, but we are getting some awesome, cool, old school arcade wrestling games. We're getting Map Mania, getting Tag Team Wrestling, and we're getting Mania Challenge, as well as, was it like 14 other Technos games. So some really cool ones, some nice beat 'em ups, because that's another thing that Technos is really famous for, is their beat 'em up series. So anxious to see those and excited to continuously see this IA Arcade library expand, because they're really, really showing that they've got a lot of different diverse games. They have like a new volleyball game on there, like a beach volleyball style game. You got beat 'em ups, you got wrestling, you got shooters, you got RPGs, you got platformers. So there's a little something for everybody on the IR Arcade, which is, going to be something that helps them stand out from the crowd with that expansive library that just keeps growing and growing. And of course, Jong said with a smile that they're not done yet. So look for hopefully more future announcements to come.
So Glenn,
Right, and the good thing about that is they're building, corporate connections. So it may not have all the newer games yet,
But this is how you start. You get your foot in
Yeah,
the door.
exactly.
exactly. And you never know. Retrosoft Studios like WrestleFest 2. We had Michael Manna and the guy on. I can't think of his name. Maybe they'll get that on the IR Arcade.
That would be sweet because I mean, honestly, it's not that they didn't try to get WrestleFest or Superstars. Those games kind of have a historic reason why they can't be licensed today. One of the obvious ones is the Tag Team Demolition. You can't really get their rights right now, and for what I understand, WWE has been a pain to even deal with when they're trying to talk about the rights to that game. So you would have to physically make changes to that existing game just to try to even work around that type of thing. And that's a significant financial investment there, let alone, the licensing. So unfortunately, we're not going to see Superstars or WrestleFest, but we also are going to see some amazing arcade games that kind of led the way for those amazing wrestling arcade style games.
So I've got a question for Glenn. Since he's a big Neo Geo fan, I know we all like Neo Geo, but Glenn, you really love Neo Geo, and it's new cabinet. That's SNK. That's not really by SNK, but it is an SNK.
Nope.
Isn't it because there's
Hang on a second. So that cabinet's coming, and the IR Arcade the same price. Which one do you pick?
I won't hide the fact that I do like the IR Arcade principle, but the machine itself visually never attracted me. The Neo Geo to me is just a nicer looking cabinet. Now, from what I understand, though, the Neo Geo emulation in there has not been the best. So sometimes the outside doesn't always equal the inside. So it's a tough call. I mean, if it's something, I do really enjoy Neo Geo. A lot of people do. So just for that nostalgia part of it, I would probably go with the Neo Geo.
Okay.
Even though I know in my heart of hearts that the horsepower and the overall experience is probably going to be better with the IR Arcade. That's just me personally.
See, I've kind of gone the other way. I said, if both companies approached me right now and said, we'll each give you a choice, you could pick one or the other.
Red pill or blue pill, yeah.
Yeah. Not give it to me. I mean, I'm buying it, but they gave me the lowdown, the specs, whatever. $500 for the cabinet. Which one am I going to pick? I'm going to go with IR Arcade. You're right. The Neo Geo one looks better, but I don't know, man. There's just too many.
They get you for the IR Arcade, or is it?
I think the emulation is what gets me with the SNK, with the cabinet. The only reason why is, okay, what was it? A couple months ago, we bought $30 SNK mini arcades that we could hook to our TV that look phenomenal.
Yeah, for $30, that was a great deal.
They look phenomenal. What I mean, I could stuff that into an arcade one-up and throw SNK graphics on it and make it a Neo Geo, arcade.
Come out cheaper. Yeah.
And it's cheaper. So I listen, I'm not downplaying the emulation. Most people don't care. I'd have people in here, they probably wouldn't care. But I'm looking at it from the price standpoint, right? For $500-$600, where Jong's cabinet, some of the games are probably emulated, but I don't know. There's just a lot better. I'm gonna say it, Jong. If you're watching, if you're listening, I'm gonna say it. The experience seems better on the IR Arcade. If I had to really,
I absolutely admit it. From a hardware point of view, the IR Arcade blows out of the water. But for me, walking into the room visually, it's just not. It's just too generic for me, I suppose. And I guess it's supposed to be,
Well, look what Meatball
Geo,
Saucy says.
It's an iconic machine.
Meatball Saucy says, he thinks the Double Dragon skin for the IR Arcade is really nice. I mean, I could see that.
Right, and
yeah.
Oh, they have the Dragon's Lair skin too, didn't they?
Yep. Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So that would be really nice as well.
So
Skin it
okay,
up.
so here's something from Matt Heyman that we didn't know. Apparently, they said they're going to add a switch to add the blood, so that they're listening to the fans. So that's good. That's a
Yeah.
good start. I know a lot of people were really downing on that.
They also sent out an email with that same notification that said not only are they going to have the switch for the blood for things like Samurai Showdown, but they're also going to try to refund all the American people that pre-ordered the shipping charges.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so, I mean,
what's the reason behind that?
I didn't read that. Yeah, I didn't read that far. I just saw free money, and I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Well, I'm not saying turn it down.
If someone's wanting to save me money, I'm not going to ask them why. I'm just going to say yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, also that the iArcade is not released, and neither is the Neo Geo cabinet. And I know there's the Neo Geo cabinet's kind of been going around, and people have been tearing a little butthole on a couple of things, but it's not released yet, so they're going to be making some changes. Now, personally, I didn't order either of them, honestly, because neither one truly drew me in. And at this point in the game, with as much stuff I have here, I need to be more selective now what I get.
But can I ask you, Glenn? Can I ask you?
Go ahead.
Is it because they market it? Both of them market as a bar top and not a 3/4 to full size arcade.
Yeah, I personally am not a bar top guy at all. I'd rather have something. If it's gonna be small, recreation, that's fine. Almost like a New Wave Toys style of machine. I would have been happy with that. Or an arcade 1-up size where it's 3/4 or bigger. But the bar top, I mean, again, I know people like that. I mean, if I look at the At Games Legends machine, technically that could be turned into a bar top. I mean, it's a modular system. You just don't put the base on it. It's options. But I'm going to be honest, neither one of them, like the games on the iArcade, for me, nothing drew me in. Although they have Dragon's Lair now, those kind of games, which is kind of good, which I just could play them in other fashions right now. It's not enough for me to spend the money for that, I guess, experience. I know we talk about it.
He's coined that. He's coined that phrase.
He has. It's his catchphrase. And from the reviews, from people who have touched it, including Cool Toy, the controllers seem really good. I would have liked, though, there was 2 digital sticks. There's a lot of new games on there. Swap out for analog. Just the digital joysticks, again, didn't draw me in for a modern first-person shooter game. They're better for the older games,
right?
But then some of those older games really just weren't ones I enjoyed personally. So I'm out on both of them. But if someone was to say which one would you want, visually, I would have taken the Neo Geo just to say, look, nice looking cabinet.
So, Daniel, we have the Miss Pac-Man Countercade versus the arcade 1-ups. Do you ever play? I mean, I think you played it like once or twice, right? You played the Countercade, but you gravitate more to the big arcades. Oh, he's going to be bashful. He's going to all of a sudden just be bashful. Okay, well,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, since I've gotten the Miss Pac-Man Countercade, like when we have game nights, hardly anybody plays it. They go to the big arcades, or they go to the Legends, or they go to the Gamer. Actually, the Gamer gets played more than the Countercade.
I mean, it's all about options. Obviously, the Countercades are great for people that have space constraints. If you don't have space constraints, why would you go with a Countercade? I mean, it's plain and simple. Like if you put a Miss Pac-Man 3/4 scale next to the Miss Pac-Man Countercade, the only person that's going to go to that Countercade is somebody that is a small child. I mean, let's be real. They're going to go.
Well,
to the
that's
bigger,
what I
better...
thought too. I let my nieces and nephews, use it.
Yeah, smack on that one, and you don't have to worry
instead
about
of trying to pull on the joysticks, right?
Yeah, but if you got the space, obviously you go with the 3/4 scale because number one, it looks the part, and number two, you're just going to be more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm just looking here at the
I also
comments.
worry about the Countercades and playing it, just sliding around during the game as you're moving it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
it really depends
on there, but
on the game, because that's one thing we really haven't seen. Like we haven't seen a Street Fighter 2 Countercade, but if we did see one, that thing's going to move because you're going to play Street Fighter much more aggressively than you play Miss Pac-Man or Frogger or something like that.
Right.
Like you're really going to start getting in there with the joystick movements and the quarter circles and things like that. Miss Pac-Man Frogger, not so much.
So I want to put this out there. Michael B, the Game Genie, says, I'm buying a Miss Pac-Man Countercade for my daughter's room. She wanted a little one. Otherwise,
Right.
She has no interest. So let me tell you this as a guy. I'm 6'2", playing the Countercade. I cannot play Miss Pac-Man without if I play with my left hand, I cannot play it without bumping player 2 almost all the time. I
had the same issue when I bought it, and that's why I noted it in my review, because I was like, I don't think I have the world's largest hands, but like,
no,
I just couldn't avoid it. Like, I just was like, why is the
there's
game
nowhere to
resetting?
rest. There's nowhere to rest your hand, and then the right
is too tight.
Yep.
I felt like I was playing like Pinky Up, you know, like super sophisticated, because I was trying to control the joystick like this.
So what I'm saying,
you are playing Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I am saying this, Michael. Even though you're going to put it in your daughter's room, it could still be a problem, and it could deter her from playing it, because you don't need big hands, and you're still going to whack player 1 or player 2. I almost think that Arcade 1-Up should have put
in the front panel,
right on the front panel where there's no speaker, because the speaker's on the right. They should have put them on the. I know it's not true to form with the Arcade, but honestly, neither is the Countercade. So you have the hand resting positions. Put the 3 buttons in the front. Call it a day.
Right.
That use the smaller. What are they? 36mm buttons, or what are they?
No, smaller than that.
Smaller than that.
Standard 28.
38.
Yeah,
okay.
Standard 28 to 30.
So the smaller one, whatever the other ones are, the smaller ones. They probably could have got away with the smaller ones in the same position, but not full size Arcade buttons.
Yeah.
Just not.
Agree.
It's not a good experience. Here we go, John. It's not a good experience. Yeah, 24. Rex is at 24
it's
millimeter.
Genius. Every time you say, "Can you hear me now?" We got to pay Verizon 15 cents. So genius.
No, the guy went to Sprint, didn't he? He jumped ship.
Yeah.
He did jump ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
So before, because we're getting toward the end of the show, we're not going to do a post show because 1, it's Doug's birthday, and 2, it's been an extremely busy day for me. But P-Dubs and the crew are going live. I believe it's 9 o'clock. Michael B, Game Genie, you can confirm it in the chat room. The Super Game Room dudes, they'll be going live at 9 o'clock East Coast time. So you'll get your fix. You'll be able to go over there and chat. But one of our community members that watches the show, she wanted to bring up that Richie Knuckles is having an online auction. I'm going to pull this up here. So if you guys want to get some really authentic arcade, memorabilia, whatever it is that you want, he's doing it on the 27th of September on Sunday from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. This is going to fund to help him reopen, because obviously we're dwindling down on COVID. Sherry reached out, Briggs, she watches the show, her and her son, and good friend of Richie Knuckles, and asked if we would promote this, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. So go support those guys. Go support Richie. I was going to say Ricky. Ricky was another YouTuber. There's a YouTuber I watch, and I forget the name of it, but he always says, Ricky! So it just came to my head. But anyways, go check it out. And I know a lot of guys, we got, last time Richie was on, we got autographed DVDs we bought from him. He didn't even make it to the we sold him out on the show here. He didn't even make it to the auction. And the t-shirts. So but go support him. This troubled time with COVID. It's
help bring that arcade back open.
That's
we
it.
want to see that Kong off happen next year. So
we want to be there at the Kong off. We want to stream it live.
The plan is for us to be there.
So,
episode 300, we're going to be there.
So one other thing we could talk about before we go, At Games really bounced out a couple firmwares this week. We got not only 5.1 but 5.2. 5.2 launched.
Yep.
And some more Taito games. And we're not going to get into that because I know we cover that on Legend Center. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the firmware. But what I wanted to ask you guys is, with the Taito games that have come on there, what has been your favorite Taito games that you've been playing this week or since they've released them on the cabinet?
I always love Bubble Bobble. The music gets me every
Yes.
single time. I end up walking around humming it for the rest of the day. I'm not terribly great at the game, but I still enjoy playing it just because, like I said, cute little dinosaurs, bubbles, super addictive music. And then there was a couple of scoreboard, leaderboard games that I actually enjoyed playing. There was that Alpine Ski. That was a fun one that I never really got into prior to that. It was just one of those things that if I saw it in an arcade, I probably would have walked by it. But I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And then like an hour and a half went by, and I realized I'd been playing it for an hour and a half. So I've enjoyed those two quite immensely thus far.
And Rex, before we get Glenn on that, Rex says if we go to the Kong off, he'll go. So that would be cool. That'd be cool if we did a huge meetup.
We are going.
We'll set up.
It's announced when it is. We are going to be there.
I'm bringing my production stuff, so we'll have multi-camera
show
shoots.
from there.
We'll have 4 cameras set up. We'll have 4 microphones in front of us.
Yep.
So, the 4 of us will be there, but we can bring additional ones for guests, so we can set up camera shots. So we've already talked about it, doing that. So, Glenn, what about you? I'm with Doug. Bubble Bobble. We've been playing it. My wife and I have been playing it.
I don't know why I like it so much, but it's Bubble Bobble.
Yes.
It's a game where I'm like, why would I like this game? But you start but they're actually people. They're actually people that got turned into dinosaurs. That's a story. But it's just when I saw that game, I'm like, what? This game looks dumb. And then I played it, and it's addictive. It's addictive, and the tune gets stuck on your head.
Yes.
Long after you're done playing it. It's just a fun game. And I'm going to be honest, that's the only one I've been playing so far. Because as soon as it was on there, I just...
Until Space Invaders comes. Then you're going to hit Space Invaders up.
Oh, yeah.
And destroy everybody.
I am definitely waiting for Space Invaders.
Ka-thunk. Pew, pew, ka-thunk.
Yep. Cole will be coming down. Not again, Dad. Get that game off. Nope.
Well, Daniel, we played Bubble Bobble.
But it's not one of my favorite games.
Okay. No, but of the title, I know. He's young. He's young.
Yeah.
I'm more like Pong and stuff.
Oh, okay. No, good.
Glenn's like, I'm all ears now. I'm like,
Even though I suck at it, I still enjoy it.
That's okay.
I got to fix this to where I can look at him because it looks like I'm looking the opposite
Make sure
way.
I play you, Daniel, next time I see you in Pong then.
I actually do have like a mini console that has Pong, Centipede.
Centipede is another one that he really likes and he plays a lot.
Yeah. Doug gave it.
Good game. Centipede's a good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's one. But on the arcade and honestly on the gamer, I can honestly say that people have been playing the pinball and the fighting games more on it because you don't have the spinners in place of it.
Right. More natural hand placement.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems a lot, at least from my perspective with the gamer. Like I wouldn't say everybody that has a Legends should go out and buy a gamer. I'm not saying that. The gamer's great. I'm going to be completely transparent and honest. If I didn't earn it from doing the show, I would have not bought it because I have the Legends. There's no point.
I don't want to cause any sales for them, but if you have a Legends, the main control panel comes right out. And you can technically plug it into any TV set.
Well, for 1.1, but not. I mean, you have to go through a rigmarole on the version 1, the Sam's Club one.
Right.
The only thing I don't like, and I said this on the show, and I'm being completely serious. It wasn't part of the act. I do not like version 1.1 that they're not using HDMI, and I understand why they did it, but for guys like us, you
there
can't.
Goes your streaming capabilities for your
Pretty
saving
much.
to your recording devices.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not.
It's one of my favorite features of the Legends Ultimate that I could dial and record and stream things like that. That's something I've always wished I could do on my arcade one-ups, is like hook up a capture card and stream and play from them, things like that. I can do it on my modded consoles, but I don't want to have to do that for every arcade one-up. I want an HDMI output, and that's something I hope everything in the future releases later on down the line with newer cabinets is something we see, because especially with like online fighting games. I mean, come on,
even the gamer gamer has HDMI. Now, the one thing that's nice about it is if you want to flip your TV sideways, you can make a pinball table out of it pretty simple, or a monitor if you want to do that. But I will say, and I've told them this, doing it wirelessly, you're going to notice lag on pinball. I mean, there's no doubt. You saw my review. I had people playing it here, and I'm actually more critical than they are. When I did OTG, wired Ethernet, it played almost flawless. In fact, and I say almost flawless because I still think it played better on the Legends Ultimate. And I understand that they're still working out the kinks in it, but Leprechaun King, we were playing it. How about it? Don't you think it played better on the Legends, or did you think it was about the same when we played the pinball? Because you didn't like it that you had to slap player 1 and player 2.
Yeah, because like
Smack them around.
like why not just like put the player 1 and player 2 on the sides like the actual ping.
That's what people are
pinball.
doing in modding. The new cabinet has it, but
Putting it on like the sides and then
Yeah.
and then the buttons to do the
nudging
the
and the flippers.
flappers.
Yeah.
Just do it on the top.
Yeah.
That would be more easier because
So he was not a fan. He was playing it over here. But
Wait.
the other thing is the trackball, right? On the gamer. There's a trackball, but I mean unless
But there's not a lot of support for it.
No, that's I mean
that
so,
does not
it-
do you any good.
yeah.
I mean, when that first got unveiled, it was shown without a trackball, and they had like the artwork where the trackball was, and that was the first thing I was like, hey, please cover that up because it looks like an eyesore that you
Right.
got this
Well, yeah.
eye of Sauron, in the middle of the gamer without that trackball, and then they did cover it up because they offered a free trackball, which is nice, but there wasn't enough support for the built-in games for it. So it's kind of like, hey, it's a bonus, but it's almost worthless bonus because you can't really use it. But I think I counted like 3 or something games
You
that I
could
could think of.
like why don't they replace the trackball with those spinny things for like the racing games?
Yeah, see, him and I are spoiled. That's how we play off-road. We use the spinners as
Yeah.
steering wheels for Ivan Stewart's
Right.
offered. But I'll tell you, this is nice. I took it to the kids' church, and the kids were playing it. They thought it was cool, being able to. You can hook it up to a projector. Like they have the arcade one-ups, but they thought it was cool that you could move this
If you
anywhere.
Cabinet. I mean, if you don't have the cabinet, and
Right.
you're-
They were mostly playing
like that.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yeah. Go this route if you don't have the cabinet, you're short on space. This is, a 2-for-1 deal for you. You get a little bit of pinball action, you get the arcade, you get all the benefits and the features of the ALU ecosystem. But if you're already an existing owner, I mean, there's honestly nothing there for you. I mean, simply put, I mean, you're just not going to get anything extra besides those flipper buttons, and that may or may not even interest you, depending on how you like to play pinball.
You could reenact the movie with Fred Savage in it, where he has that big screen.
The Wizard?
He's playing, and he's playing Mario Brothers, and on the arcade, you could do that if you get the gamer.
I mean,
And it's interchangeable.
yeah, it's that was one of my childhood dreams, is hoping that Nintendo contest would come around and I would somehow magically get pulled out of the trailer park and selected to be on that. But one can hope maybe Nintendo brings it back. Was it like
One
10
of the
years
other-
ago, I think again.
What's that?
I think like 10 years ago they tried to bring that Nintendo
Yeah.
competition back. So
I
maybe.
think one of the best things that they did though on it, compared to the original Legends that we have, is the player 1, player 2, rewind, and menu buttons. They actually added graphics to them, so you know what's player 1, what's for the novice. Not necessarily us, because you're going to change them out, right? You're going to put whatever in that you want, your Hap, your Sanwa. But for normal people, I had so many people go, well, which one's player 1? Which one's menu? Which one's rewind or whatever? So kudos to Hack Games for doing that.
My OCD is still firing every time though, because those 4 buttons are not in line. And
No,
like I said,
you're
that's
right.
just a super nitpicky thing, but every time I'm like, oh, these all need to be symmetrical. We got 1, 1, 3, 4. And I'm like, no, get them all in line.
Yep.
Get them all in line.
No, like
That's all I ask. Future releases, whatever, please line them up.
so if you don't know where the buttons are, and you don't have anything to know where it is, you can just ask someone that knows how to print and knows all the buttons, and then just
Yeah, you could
print
do
it out.
that. But the other thing that they didn't do, or did they on the original? Because I changed my graphic as well as you. Did they have it printed on the the XYAB? Did they have menu player 1, player 2, and rewind?
No,
I don't
it was
remember.
it was on the board, not on the button.
Right, it was on the board. So,
Yeah.
but on this, it's not on the board. It's just the XYAB are all on the board, but not on the butt.
Yeah, they should have done it.
But
on
not
the
everybody
button.
knows that
They should have done it on the button for
for the original.
that you can't even take off the sticker, because that's what they originally did, but only for the A.
Oh yeah, you're thinking with
They
arcade
actually
one-up.
should use small OLED screens so that you see what it is on the button. That's what you got to do. At Games, I gave you $1 million deal there. little LCD organic
Oh, my
displays
goodness.
on them. Boom,
Or
do
you
it up.
could just do like a 3D screen that shows you.
Oh, even better.
Like
Yeah.
He wants to go
or-
3D like with the
or
Pixelcade, you know?
like virtual where you could see like it like shows you where the buttons are with virtual light up like letters for it and stuff. I'm going all future stuff.
There you go.
That's funny.
Nice.
Well, guys, we're going to have to wrap up here, and we're going to have to see next week. We'll be back. But we appreciate everybody coming out. We want to wish this guy a very happy birthday. We want to let him get to his cake. And
Happy birthday to you. To you. Happy birthday, dear dog. Happy birthday to you.
I just love that Glenn looked like he was being tortured. I mean, he's just flailing around.
He is now one with the Alvins. The chipmunks.
He's become one of the chipmunks. He's assimilated into the chipmunk
Hey, it's
lifestyle.
a retro. It's a retro thing, so be glad it's a retro
You know,
song.
I didn't do this yet, but Daniel now has an Instagram. He wanted to get on Instagram, and he's been posting a little bit. And thank you for those that have been following him. I am kind of monitoring it with him so he doesn't get crazy people following him. But if you want to go follow him, it's what is it? Arcade Dan.
No, Dan's Arcade.
Oh, Dan's Arcade, yeah. Dan's Arcade. Instagram.com/Dan's Arcade. You can finally follow him. And he posts some different pictures and videos and
Mostly videos.
mostly videos of
I just
fidget
recently,
spinners and
just posted today a recent video of the original Ghostbusters Firehouse with nothing on it. I put the remakes of the real Ghostbusters figures on it. It didn't come with the doors or the pole, but you could just find that for like $20 or something.
he's been watching Doug too long. You see this?
Except
He's hip to the game. He knows how to play this.
Except the pole you could just get for 80.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Just anyway.
yeah.
But, you know, he's got to start somewhere. So it's a great way for him to get on there and post little videos, post little pictures. So go support him. Dan's Arcade. Yes. What were you going to say,
You're
Glenn?
gonna corrupt them young.
That's, well, there you go. There you go.
And also, I only watch Doug's videos and not Glenn's. So.
Wow, man.
Wow.
I remember a time when it was the opposite. He watched at least 30 seconds of my show before he turned it off. Now I get nothing.
That's because you're not doing toys.
I mean, I only watched 1 second of a video, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored. And then put it back on.
Hey, well, wait. He was probably talking about Pong or something. That's probably what happened.
No, I love Pong, and he was talking about Pac-Man and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I hate this.
Oh boy.
Brutal.
Yeah, he's just.
And then I switched.
I think we're gonna have
I'm getting annihilated.
We're
by
gonna
him.
have to do a celebrity death match between Daniel and Glenn pretty soon. I
in
think.
Centipede.
In Centipede.
We still have to do it.
There we go. We have a Pong off.
A Pong off.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah, we
wait,
do.
no! I suck at Pong. Don't.
You were just talking about how much you like it, though.
But I
Okay, here's
suck.
what we're gonna do.
I suck,
Here's
but
what
I
we're gonna
love
do.
it.
When the Kong off happens, I'm
Oh.
almost positive Richie's got a Pong machine there. He's definitely got Centipede. We'll do it out. Bring it, kid.
Very cool.
Bring it.
All right, big baby.
All right, guys. Well, we want to say thank you to Mr. Glenn Planamento, youtube.com/GPlanamento. Make sure you guys go subscribe and follow
Bless you,
his.
Daniel.
Yeah, follow it. After Daniel just gave you that rousing introduction.
Rousing, hurtful, and I even subscribed to Doug's channel and not even
You don't even have a subscription to YouTube, so
dude.
you're subscribing with my stuff. So just back off.
So,
So if you want to spend all your money that you earned all week, you can subscribe to Doug, youtube.com/cooltoy, because I'm sure you will end up spending money.
Doug breaks your bank
I got some
account.
more toys to show everybody this weekend. So
We were debating. I was saying last year. I said these guys need to get a website. They need to get it going. And Doug was like, well, I need to think of one. I thought of one. DougBreaksTheBankAccount.com. That's what we should do.
There we go.
Hey, no, I
There we
thought of
go.
it.
Yeah, well, either way, we should make it the website, not just a Facebook page, a website.
Mhm.
And then and then we start with it, and then we start it, and then the next YouTube
But-
channel,
But
and Facebook,
I'm gonna just cut him off right now.
and oh my gosh.
Doug and Glenn and all you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. But Rex, if you're still here, Glenn's been dating. You better get that show up and going pretty soon. Otherwise, you're not gonna have nothing to talk about. Glenn's not gonna be able to do
Yeah,
it.
we've only probably got 5 or 10 years before I can find someone, so you better hurry.
So you better get going. Get that going.
Yeah.
So, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week for more of the Retro Buzz. Take care.